Hi, my name is Jailton. I am a PhD student from Federal University of Minas Gerais, Brazil, and now I am going to present the research paper Why Modern Open Source Projects Fail. Nowadays, open source code is widely used to reduce the costs or to speed up the software development. So, we can say that if software is eating the world, open source is eating software. So, most software produced nowadays depends on open source systems. And due to the appearance of modern platforms for development, like GitHub, open source systems are being created at speeds never seen before. For example, today GitHub has 64 million of public and private repositories and 90 millions of users. Consequently, these projects are also failing at unprecedented rates. So, the main objective of our research was answer the question, why do open source projects fail? In this study, we addressed the following research questions. The research question number 1, why do open source projects fail? The research question number 2, what is the importance of open source maintenance practices? The research question number 3, what is the impact of project failures? And the last research question, how do developers try to overcome the project's failure? So, to answer these research questions, first we select the top 5,000 GitHub projects by stars to focus on high popular projects. Next, we filter this initial list in 542 projects without commits in the last year, and we complement the selection with 76 projects declared as unmaintained in the project README by the owners. So we end up with a list of 618 projects, open source projects. Now I'm going to show the results and the design to answer the research questions. To answer the first research question, why do open source projects fail? We conduct a survey with developers. In the case of individual accounts of the repository, we send the questionnaire to the project owners. And in the case of organizational accounts, we send the survey to the principal contributor of the project. So, the survey questionnaire is composed by 4 open-ended questions. First, we ask to the subject if he agree that the project is unmaintained. So, if say yes, we ask first, why did we stop maintaining the project? So, the second, did you receive funding to maintain the project? And finally, we ask if the subject have plans to reactivate the project. So we send a total of 480 emails and we receive 118 answers. So we target a response rate of 29%. And we complement the survey answers with 36 answers from the project README. In this case, we read the project README looking for the reason because the project was abandoned. So 86% of the subjects agree that the project is unmaintained and only 14% not agree. And 15% of the subjects have plans to reactivate the project and 18% do not have plans to reactivate the project. The main reason for developers stop maintaining the project is because the project was usurped by competitor with 30 answers. For example, we have the following answer. The project no longer makes sense. Apple has built technical and legal alternatives which I believe are satisfactory. So the second reason, the second most reason for developers stop maintaining the project is because the lack of time of the main contributor with 27 answers. For example, we have I was the only maintainer and there was a lot of feature requests and I didn't have enough time. And the third most reason for developers stop maintaining the project is because the project is considered completed with 17 answers. For example, we have the following answer. Sometimes you build something and sometimes it's completed. Like if you build a building, at some point in time it's finished. Each achieved its goals. So combine the survey answers. We only consider that a project has failed when the subject agreed that the project is unmaintained, the subject not considered that the project is completed, and when the subject not have plans to reactivate the project. So we ended up with a final list of 100 full projects that have failed. So it is important to say that our definition of failure means that the project have been abandoned or deprecated. So, of course, that the project may have been important to developers and users before being deprecated. So, from the final list of 100 full projects that have failed, the most common reasons for the failure of open source projects are usurped by competitor with 27 projects. The project become functional obsolete with 20 projects, followed by the lack of time of the main contributor with 18 projects. Because the lack of time of the main contributor and followed by the lack of interest of the main contributor, both with 18%, 18 projects, followed by the outdated technologies with 14 projects, followed by the low maintainability of the project with 7 projects, followed by the conflicts among developers with 3, legal problems with 2, and the case of acquisition when the project become private with 1 project.
Now I'm going to show the results and the design to answer the second research question. What is the importance of the following best open source maintenance practices? To answer this research question, we selected 4 groups of 100 full projects, among the top 5,300 projects. First, we created a group for the projects that have failed, and next we created a group for the top and a group for the bottom by the number of stars. And finally, we created a group of a random sample of 100 full projects. So we analyzed the adoption of 80 open source maintenance practices. First, we analyzed the presence of a README file. Next, we analyzed the presence of a license file, the availability of a homepage to promote the project, the use of a continuous integration setting. In this case, we check the use of a thread CI. We analyze the presence of a specific file with guideline for the contributors, the presence of an issue template. Next, we analyze the presence of a file with a code of conduct. And finally, we analyze the presence of a pull request template. So, comparing the presence of a license file specifically, 61% for the failed project had a specific license file versus 88% for the top group. Analyze the use of a continuous integration. 27% of the projects that have failed use a continuous integration versus 68% for the top group. And finally, analyze the use of the contribute guidelines. Only 16% of the projects that have failed use a contribute guideline versus 72% for the top group. which is the most different between these groups.
So now I'm going to show the results and the design to answer the third research question. What is the impact of the project failures? So to answer this research question, we count the number of opened issues and opened pull requests from the 100 full projects that have failed. So we found over 4,700 opened issues, and we found around 300 open pull requests. So basically, the design of this third research question assumes that the negative impact of an abandoned project includes bugs and enhancement that will not be considered and pull requests that will not be implemented. So this graphic shows the distributions for the opened issues and pull requests. For the opened issues, the median measure is 32, and for the opened pull requests, the median measure is 4.
Now I'm going to show the results and the design to answer the last research question. How do developers try to overcome the project failure? To answer this research question, we manually analyzed over 1,600 issues. We found in 32 issues, developers discuss about the project status. For example, we have the following titles of these issues. In this project dev, is project maintained, is developed of this ongoing. We found a total of three kinds of strategies that the developers try to overcome the project failure. First, we found that the developers try moving the account of the project to an organization account to share the responsibilities of the project. We found this kind of strategy in 5 projects. The other kind was include new core developers to the project. We found this kind of strategy in 5 projects. And the last strategy was transfer the project to new maintainers. We found this strategy in 3 projects. And finally, in 19 projects that we not consider as a strategy because the owners suggest that the collaborators migrate to another project because they do not have plans to reactivate the project. So, finally, the takeaway message of this research is the top 5 most common reasons for the failure of open source systems are the project was overlooked by competition, the project became functionally obsolete, the lack of time of the main contributor, followed by the lack of interest of the main contributor, and the project based on outdated technologies. And we compare the failed group versus the top project and show the difference between these groups in the use of contribute guidelines. So we show that the most difference between these groups is the use of contribute guidelines. The second most difference was the use of continuous integration that in this case we analyze the use of a CI service. And the third most difference between these groups was the presence of a license file. Thank you for your attention.